Let's learn today about the user account control. The large majority of home users are logged into their Windows systems as local administrators. Remember from the previous task that any user with administrator as the account type can make changes to the system. A user doesn't need to run with high elevated privileges on the system to run tasks that doesn't require such privileges, such as surfing the internet, working on a Word document, etc. This elevated privilege increases the risk of system compromise because it makes it easier for malware to infect the system. Consequently, since the user account can make changes to the system, the malware would run in the context of the logged-in user. To protect the local user with such privileges, Microsoft introduced User Account Control, UAC. This concept was first introduced with the short-lived Windows Vista and continued with versions of Windows that followed. Note that user account control by default doesn't apply for the built-in local administrator account. How does user account control work? When a user with an account type of administrator logs into a system, the current session doesn't run with elevated privileges. When an operation requiring higher level privileges needs to execute, the user will be promoted to confirm if they permit the operation to run. Let's look at the program on the account you're currently logged into. The built-in administrator account. Right-click to view its properties. Let's see. Wireshark here. We have an installer. Right-click, properties. In the security tab, we can see the user groups and their permissions to the file. Notice that the standard user is not listed. We go to security. And here we can say system and administrators, group and administrator user. Here we see its permissions. We have full permissions. Log in as the standard user and try to install this program. To do this, you can remote desktop into the machine as the standard user account. Okay, now you can see on the executable that we don't have a shield as in here. This is another point that we are logged in as administrators. If we double click on the executable, user account control is not kicking in. You can see that you can run the installer, but if we do the following, we try to remote desktop to a standard user. For this we say, we go to settings. We want to check the PC system about. Here we can see the computer name. Then we want to connect to this. We go to user accounts, local user accounts and groups management. And here we see we want to connect to TryHackMe Billy with the password Windows Phone. And we go back to remote desktop. We see that it's asking for a username TryHackMe Billy with the password that we have there. And now we wait to connect to the machine. This user, you can see, if we double click on it, it's member of users and remote desktop users. We can connect via remote desktop because it's part of the remote desktop group, but is also part of users group. If we go to groups, we can check users and remote desktop users, where we can see a member TryHackMe Billy is over here. Now you can see the shield as in the picture on TryHackMe. This shield icon is an indicator that user account control will prompt to allow higher level privileges to install the program. You can see now that we are logged as TryHackMe Billy now. When we double click the executable, let's read on. Double click the program and you'll see the user account control prompt. Notice that the built-in administrator account is already set as the username and prompts the account's password. See below. Exactly like that, we see it here. User account control for our PC and the administrator account. After some time, if a password is not entered, the user account control prompts disappear and the program does not install. This feature reduces the likelihood of malware successfully compromising your system. You can read more about user account control here. We will not enter the password. By the way, it's the password for the administrator. Until then, answer the questions below. What does UAC mean? User account control. User account control helps prevent malware from damaging a PC and helps organization deploy a better managed desktop with UAC apps and tasks. Always run in the security context of a non-administrator account unless administrator specifically authorizes administrator level access to the system. User account control can block the automatic installation of unauthorized apps and prevent inadvertent changes to system settings. So let's bring that down and let me show you what happens if we enter the password of the user that we are now logged in as. Here, Windows Phone 1. Let's type that down. Windows Phone. You see? You have to enter administrator password. Pretty cool.